So as we all know, yesterday War Tycoon has released a brand new Viper helicopter into the game, and there has been many people saying that the Viper isn't actually as good as we think, or that the Viper is a disappointment, and etc. Well, we all know why we're here. Today I'll be going through every type of statistics that the Viper will have to offer. Along with this, I'll be comparing it to the Game Pass, which is currently the MI-28 Havoc, and if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, they are actually way closer than you think, and the Viper is actually pretty damn good. Alrighty guys, so probably all of you already know the drill by now. The first thing which we're gonna be comparing is to see how much health both of these helicopters have, of course by seeing how many explosive sniper shots both of these can actually take. So first up, we're gonna be spawning in the Viper, which does have 3 bars out of health, so we're actually gonna put this onto a true test. So let's see how much one shot from the explosive sniper is gonna do to it in, of course, this area. So this is the first shot, and let's see how much health is gonna be left of. It's going to lose exactly 14%. So let's actually start shooting. This is shot number 2, shot number 3, and shot number 4. And let's see how the Viper is currently looking in health. Oh, it's actually lost half of its health, so that's kind of a little bit of a disappointment. Let's see. Shot number 5, number 6, and I hope 7 is the last shot. No, it's actually going to be able to tank 8 explosive sniper shots, but I think it really will depend where you guys will actually shoot in order to find out a true answer to this question. But for now, I guess I'm going to have it as 8, but it could also be 7. Okay, so there is our favorite Havoc. Let's shoot it with 1 explosive sniper shot and see how much it's gonna be left at. Oh, that's the wrong seat. This is the gunner seat, my mistake. And let's go in here, and it's gonna be left at 88%. So from what I can see right here, it only makes a small percentage difference. So let's go for shot number 3, number 4 now, and let's actually see how long it takes. Shot number 5, shot number 6, and shot number 7. And there is shot number 8, and the Havoc is also destroyed. So from what it seems, they both actually died at around 8 hits, so in terms of the actual health itself, I'm gonna have to call it a draw even. Alrighty, you guys, I would like to actually make this test a little more quality, so I'm also going to be pulling up the statistics. I would obviously go into the speed stats, so the speed stat for the Viper is going to be 200 miles per hour, and for the MI-28 Havoc, if we go ahead into helicopters and choose the Havoc, it's going to say exactly 210. So in terms of the speed category, we're going to be having the Havoc as the winner, and by the way, the health of the Havoc is actually 900, and the health of the Viper is going to be 750 right here. But I don't believe this information to be as accurate because the shots it took was actually very similar. Alrighty, so in this next category, we're gonna be testing on how much both of these vehicles will be able to do to the MI-24 Hind while shooting 1 lock-on missile, and then they would unload all of the missiles. So let's actually go ahead and take a look at the damage. So jumping right into it, let's fire 1 missile, and the MI-24 Hind is going to lose 32%, so we can naturally assume that it's going to lose 64 after 2 shots. So doing the same thing with the MI-28 Havoc, let's take a look, and the exact damage that the Hind is going to take is going to be 16%, so now unloading all of the other missiles, let's see how much it's actually going to be able to do after exactly 4. But what it actually seems is that the Viper does 2 times per missile damage than what the Havoc does, so it actually equals to a similar damage at the end of the test. So to give you guys a nice summary, this is going to be a draw for this category. Again, I will repeat, is the fact that the MI-28 Havoc does 2 times less per missile, however, the Viper does 2 times more per missile, so basically that equals to a similar damage output. But I also really want to apologize for losing out one of the clips where I was able to unload exactly 2 missiles on the Hind with the Viper. That's just a little bit of editing problems, and I cannot find the file at all. So I do want to apologize a little bit for that. Anyway, let's move into the next category. So next up, we are going to be testing pretty much the same thing, but we are going to be doing it with tanks. Our test subject is going to be a Sherman, which has exactly 1000 health. So let's go ahead and shoot 1 missile at the Sherman with the Havoc. So it seems that the Sherman lost exactly 19% from 1 of the missiles, so let's go ahead and fire the rest of the 7 and see how fast the Sherman is gonna die. So these are all of the missiles being unloaded right now. So here they are. This is missile 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th one, and the 7th one. So funny enough, what I was actually able to notice is the fact that more missiles you fire from the Havoc, the less each one does. I don't really know how that mechanic works, but it doesn't really make mathematical sense for the Sherman to get destroyed after 7 shots, because it's actually supposed to be around 5 to 6. Okay, so we're just doing exactly the same thing, but with the Viper this time. After 1 missile shot, the Sherman seems to have lost exactly 26%. So what I can see from this is that the Viper actually does more individual missile damage, but again, there's just way less missiles. So in terms of actually being able to take out stuff in the ground, it's probably gonna be good for light armored vehicles and etc, but it won't be that good because you guys would have to run a lot and then just play with the lock-ons. But I gotta say, the lock-ons are actually pretty powerful in the Viper as well. So the next test we're going to be doing is to see how much their rockets actually do for both of the helicopters and to see the ability of them to be able to actually destroy this Sherman. So let's actually shoot 1 rocket. So after 1 rocket, we have lost exactly 10%. So once the Havoc does actually fire much more shots, what it seems to us is that it's doing 8 to 10% per hit, and it's actually unable to destroy the Sherman at the end. So moving to the Viper, let's do exactly the same test. It seems to do exactly 11% per shot with each rocket, and it seems to actually have a much bigger ability to actually be able to destroy the like of the Sherman as well. So to summarize this test, the Viper was able to do slightly more damage per rocket, but it is also armed with many more rockets, so that's another bonus. Also, one thing I want to highlight is that the Viper is much better for taking out infantry with its rockets as well, because they also do much more area damage. Now the final test is to actually see how long it's gonna take to destroy the mouse. With first off, we're gonna start with the MI-28 Havoc, so let's actually begin the fire on the mouse. And it seems almost after 10 seconds, it's absolutely able to shred the mouse in such a fast amount of time. So now doing exactly the same thing with the Viper, it seems to be slightly slower, even though the bullets itself are actually armor piercing. And I gotta say that this actual gun for the Viper seems to be a little bit worse in terms of damage, but it also seems to be running out much more faster than what the MI-28 was doing. It really does seem like that, man. But if I'm gonna be completely honest, the MI-28 at the end of the day is going to be our pay-to-win vehicle, but this one is actually still pretty good at destroying the mouse. As you guys can see, it was able to destroy after around 25 seconds. Now coming up to the end of the video, I would like to really test the actual lock-on range for both of these vehicles, as it seems I'm unable to actually lock onto MI-28 Havoc from this range. But once we do get slightly closer, the MI-28 Havoc is actually gonna be able to lock to me instead, which seems to be a very big difference in terms of actual lock-on range. Yeah, as you guys can see, I already got hit, so let's actually get a little closer and see if I'll be able to actually do anything and be able to actually lock onto it. But once again, I'm unable to lock onto the MI-28 Havoc, which sucks. I really just have to get super close in order to get to it. But yeah, that is all I'm gonna have for you guys in today's video. I hope I did give you guys as much quality in these actual tests itself. I believe this vehicle, the Viper, to be the second best helicopter in War Tycoon, only because of its actual versatilities, because it does have very much similar versatilities to stuff like the MI-28, but it also exceeds it in a few categories, such as the actual individual damage, but it also is pretty good for dogfighting and being able to even destroy stuff that's on the ground due to its missile damage. So definitely it's going to be the second best vehicle as a helicopter in this whole entire game. So I definitely do recommend it. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below if you are actually going to be getting the Viper. And thank you so much to you guys for actually watching these videos. This is one of the longer videos, so I really hope that you enjoyed. And thank you so much to all my channel members. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.